The European Union has hit tech giant Meta with a record-breaking fine of over $1 billion for defying privacy rules.
Mark Zuckerberg is working hard to build a future that's more than just social media. As the head of Meta, he's focused on creating a new kind of digital world. This future involves virtual reality, augmented reality, and artificial intelligence, all blending together with everyday life. But how far can technology go in changing the way we live? Let us expose Zuckerberg's ambitious plans and how they will change the world forever in ways you can't even start to imagine. Virtual worlds that feel real. But what exactly is the future Zuckerberg is trying to create? It's not just about technology for technology's sake. At its core, his vision is about reimagining how people connect, work, learn, and experience life. While the concept may sound exciting, it also raises a number of important questions about privacy, accessibility, and the potential risks of immersing ourselves more deeply in digital worlds. Before we dive into this, it's clear that the reality Zuckerberg envisions may be far more complicated and far more controversial than anyone could have expected. And this won't be the only thing that will shock you. If there's one concept that has defined Zuckerberg's recent public speeches, interviews, and company announcements, it's the metaverse. For many, this term may still feel like something out of a science fiction novel, but for Zuckerberg, it's the next logical step in the evolution of the internet. So, what exactly is the metaverse? In simple terms, the metaverse is a collective virtual space that goes far beyond the current limits of the internet. Instead of interacting with content on flat screens, users would step into fully immersive 3D environments. In these virtual worlds, people could move around as avatars, interact with digital objects and other users, attend events, and even build their own virtual spaces. The metaverse represents a world where the digital and physical are no longer separate entities. They are intertwined in real-time experiences. Zuckerberg envisions a metaverse where users will not just game or socialize, but where they will live out many aspects of their daily lives. In this digital realm, people can attend concerts, explore art galleries, shop for virtual or real goods, and meet up with friends, all while wearing virtual reality, VR headsets, or augmented reality, AR glasses. But he doesn't see the metaverse as a place only for fun. He believes it will reshape the way we work and collaborate, transforming office spaces into virtual meeting rooms where distance is no longer a barrier to productive teamwork. The potential for the metaverse is enormous. It represents a space where people can transcend the limits of geography and time zones. Imagine meeting a friend from across the globe to play a game or attend a virtual theater production, all from the comfort of your living room. For Zuckerberg, the metaverse is not just an evolution of online gaming or social media, it's a fundamental shift in how we experience the internet itself. However, the idea of the metaverse brings with it a lot of questions and uncertainties. What will it mean for our sense of reality when virtual worlds start to feel just as real as the physical one? How will companies like Meta handle the massive amounts of data they'll collect in these immersive spaces? And what does it mean for those who may not have access to the high-end technology required to fully participate in the metaverse? Despite these challenges, Zuckerberg is pressing forward. His company has invested billions of dollars into developing the software and hardware necessary to build the metaverse. For Zuckerberg, this isn't a distant dream. It's a future that Meta is actively working to create today. One of the most important things to understand about the metaverse is that it requires more than just software and digital platforms. To make this vision a reality, people need access to the right hardware, devices that can transport them into these virtual environments and allow them to interact with the digital world in new ways. This is where virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality, AR, come into play. Back in 2014, Zuckerberg made a bold move when Meta, then Facebook, acquired Oculus, a leading company in the virtual reality space, for $2 billion. At the time, many people were confused by the decision. After all, Facebook was known for social media, not gaming or immersive tech. But Zuckerberg had a broader vision. He saw VR as the gateway to the metaverse, a way to bring people closer to the digital worlds he was dreaming up. After learning about what the metaverse might offer, we'll now look at the devices that will help bring these digital worlds to life. Meta's big bet on virtual reality. Since then, Meta has released several versions of the Oculus VR headset, with the Oculus Quest series being one of the most popular. These devices allow users to fully immerse themselves in virtual environments, whether they're exploring fantastical worlds in video games or attending virtual meetings and events. The headsets have become more affordable and more powerful over time, making them accessible to a wider audience, although they are still primarily used for gaming and niche experiences. But VR is only part of the story. Zuckerberg's vision also includes augmented reality, AR, which layers digital information on top of the real world. Instead of completely transporting users into a virtual space, AR enhances their view of the physical world with digital elements. Imagine wearing a pair of AR glasses that allow you to see digital notifications, maps, or even virtual objects right in front of you, all while still being able to see the real world around you. Zuckerberg has made it clear that AR will play a key role in the future of the metaverse. However, the technology is still in its infancy. While companies like Meta, Apple, and Google are all working on AR glasses, we're not yet at the point where AR headsets are sleek, comfortable, and powerful enough for everyday use. There are significant challenges, from battery life and processing power to making the glasses socially acceptable and stylish. Despite these obstacles, Zuckerberg remains optimistic. He believes that AR glasses will eventually become as commonplace as smartphones, and that they will fundamentally change how people interact with both the digital and physical worlds. In the near future, you might be able to walk down the street and see digital signs, arrows guiding you to your destination, or even have virtual conversations with friends who appear right next to you in AR form. At the heart of Zuckerberg's vision for the future is the same mission that drove the creation of Facebook in 2004, connecting people. From the very beginning, Zuckerberg has been focused on finding new ways to bring people together, and the metaverse represents the next step in that direction. But while traditional social media allows us to connect with others through posts, comments, and messages, Zuckerberg envisions something far more immersive. In the metaverse, people won't just be limited to interacting through text or video calls. Instead, they'll be able to meet up as avatars in fully digital spaces, sharing experiences in ways that feel much more real than what's possible on current social platforms. Imagine not just liking a friend's vacation photos, but actually joining them on a virtual trip to a digital version of that same location. Instead of merely commenting on a post about a concert, you could attend a live, virtual version of the event alongside your friends, no matter where in the world they are. This new form of social connection is all about shared experiences. For Zuckerberg, the metaverse represents an opportunity to deepen human connections in ways that go beyond the flat, two-dimensional interactions of today's internet. Whether it's playing a game, visiting a virtual gallery, or simply hanging out in a digital park, the metaverse will enable people to create memories together, even if they're thousands of miles apart. But this raises some interesting questions about how our social lives might change in a world where the digital and physical are so closely intertwined. Will people start to spend more time in virtual spaces than in the real world? Will our social interactions become less authentic as we rely more on avatars and digital representations of ourselves? And how will the metaverse handle issues of harassment, bullying, and abuse, which are already rampant in today's online platforms? Zuckerberg has acknowledged that building safe, inclusive spaces in the metaverse will be a challenge, but he believes that with the right tools and policies in place, the metaverse can offer more meaningful social interactions than what we currently experience online. Whether that vision becomes a reality remains to be seen. But it's clear that Zuckerberg is betting big on the idea that the metaverse will fundamentally change how we connect with each other. With VR and AR technology in place, Zuckerberg's plan grows bigger. Let's now see how he wants to change the way we work and learn. Virtual learning in 3D. Beyond social connections, Zuckerberg sees the metaverse as a space for reimagining how people work and learn. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the trend toward remote work and online education, but Zuckerberg believes that these experiences can be taken to a whole new level through the power of virtual and augmented reality. For work, the metaverse offers the promise of immersive, collaborative environments that go beyond the limits of video calls and shared documents. In a metaverse-driven workplace, employees won't be constrained by physical office spaces. Instead, they can meet up in virtual conference rooms, where they'll interact with colleagues from around the world as if they were in the same room. In these digital spaces, teams can brainstorm on virtual whiteboards, present 3D models of projects, and even take virtual walks together to simulate the spontaneous conversations that happen in real-world offices. This kind of collaboration could make remote work more dynamic and engaging, addressing some of the challenges that have arisen with the widespread shift to home offices. For companies, the metaverse could also reduce the need for expensive office spaces and business travel, while still maintaining a high level of productivity and team cohesion. But it's not just the world of work that Zuckerberg wants to change. He's also looking at education. Traditional online learning has its limitations. Watching recorded lectures or participating in video calls often feels impersonal and lacks the engagement of in-person classes. In the metaverse, however, students could participate in fully immersive learning environments. Imagine studying ancient Rome by walking through a virtual recreation of the city, or conducting science experiments in a virtual lab where the risks and costs of real-world experiments don't apply. Zuckerberg believes that the metaverse could democratize education, making it easier for students from different parts of the world to learn together and access high-quality resources. The possibilities for interactive, hands-on learning are endless. But as with work, this raises questions about accessibility. Will these experiences be available to all students, or will they remain a privilege for those who can afford the necessary technology? While Zuckerberg acknowledges that these challenges exist, he's confident that the benefits of reimagining work and education in the metaverse far outweigh the drawbacks. In his view, these new environments will lead to deeper collaboration, more engaging learning experiences, and ultimately, a more connected and productive world. As exciting as the idea of the metaverse may be, creating fully immersive and interactive digital worlds is a complex challenge. That's where artificial intelligence, AI, comes in. For Zuckerberg, AI isn't just a tool for improving existing technologies. It's a critical part of making the metaverse possible. One of the most important roles that AI will play in the metaverse is in generating the worlds themselves. While developers will create the basic frameworks for virtual environments, AI will be needed to fill in the details, ensuring that these spaces are dynamic and responsive to users. Imagine walking through a virtual city where AI controls the weather, traffic, and even the behaviors of digital characters. AI could help create worlds that feel alive, where users can interact with intelligent, lifelike characters who respond to their actions in real time. In addition to world building, AI will also play a major role in personalization. The metaverse will be an incredibly vast and varied space, and AI will be used to help users navigate it in meaningful ways. Whether it's recommending virtual events, suggesting friends to connect with, or offering personalized content based on user preferences, AI will ensure that every person's experience in the metaverse is tailored to their individual needs and interests. AI will also be crucial for improving the security and privacy of the metaverse. One of the big concerns about these new digital spaces is how user data will be handled, especially given Meta's controversial history with data privacy. Zuckerberg has said that AI will be key to keeping users safe in the metaverse. This could involve everything from identifying harmful or abusive behavior to detecting security threats and preventing breaches of personal data. Even though the metaverse sounds exciting, the use of AI to build it comes with new challenges. The role of AI in Zuckerberg's digital worlds. However, the use of AI in the metaverse isn't without its controversies. There are ongoing debates about the ethical implications of AI, especially when it comes to issues like surveillance, bias, and the potential for misuse. For Zuckerberg, ensuring that AI is used responsibly in the metaverse will be one of the biggest challenges in building trust with users. Despite these concerns, Zuckerberg sees AI as an indispensable part of the future he's trying to create. It will be the backbone of the metaverse, powering the digital worlds, personalizing experiences, and keeping users safe as they explore these new environments. While Zuckerberg's vision for the future is undeniably ambitious, it's not without its fair share of challenges and controversies. As Meta pushes forward with its plans for the metaverse, critics and advocates alike have raised important questions about what this new digital world will mean for individuals and society as a whole. One of the most significant concerns is privacy. Meta has a history of facing scrutiny for its handling of user data, and the development of the metaverse only amplifies these concerns. In a world where people may be spending more of their time in virtual environments, the amount of data collected could increase exponentially. From tracking users' movements and interactions in the metaverse to capturing biometric data from VR and AR devices, the potential for privacy violations is a major issue. Zuckerberg has acknowledged these concerns, but it remains to be seen how Meta will address them in practice. Will users have control over their data in the metaverse? And how transparent will Meta be about its data collection practices? These are questions that will need to be answered if the metaverse is to gain widespread acceptance. Another challenge is accessibility. While Zuckerberg's vision of the metaverse is one of an inclusive, global space where people from all walks of life can connect and collaborate, the reality is that not everyone will have equal access to the technology needed to participate. High-quality VR and AR devices are still expensive, and reliable internet access is essential for fully experiencing the metaverse. This could create a digital divide, where only those who can afford the latest technology are able to take full advantage of these new experiences. Beyond privacy and accessibility, there are also concerns about the societal impact of spending more time in virtual worlds. Critics worry that as people become more immersed in the metaverse, they may begin to disengage from the physical world. Relationships could become more superficial, and the lines between reality and fantasy could blur. There's also the potential for negative mental health effects if people spend too much time in virtual environments at the expense of real-world interactions. Despite these challenges, Zuckerberg is pushing forward with his vision. He believes that the benefits of the metaverse, deeper social connections, more productive work environments, and immersive learning experiences will far outweigh the potential risks. But as Meta continues to build this new digital world, it's clear that the road ahead will be filled with both opportunities and obstacles. Mark Zuckerberg's vision for the future is bold, to say the least. From the development of the metaverse to advancements in VR, AR, and AI, he's attempting to reshape the very nature of how we live, work, and connect in a world where the digital and physical are no longer separate. But this vision is still in its early stages, and it's unclear how quickly, or even if, it will become a reality for most people. The technological challenges are significant, and the societal implications are complex. There's no doubt that building the metaverse will require overcoming numerous hurdles, from improving hardware to addressing concerns about privacy and accessibility. But for Zuckerberg, the potential rewards are worth the risk. In the next decade, we may very well see the metaverse evolve from a sci-fi concept into a mainstream reality. Whether it becomes a utopia of deeper connections and enhanced collaboration, or a dystopia of digital isolation and surveillance, will depend largely on how companies like Meta handle the challenges that lie ahead. For now, Zuckerberg's future is one where technology is not just a tool we use, but a space we live in. A space where digital and physical worlds collide and where human connections are redefined. Whether or not this future comes to pass, one thing is clear. Zuckerberg is betting big on a vision of the internet that is more immersive, more interactive, and more integral to our lives than ever before. Is Mark Zuckerberg's vision of a fully digital world the next big step for humanity, or is it a dangerous move that could disconnect us from reality? Will this future bring us closer together or push us further apart in ways we can't even predict? Tell us what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.